Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, sponsored as always by our friends at Citrix GoToMeeting, the online meeting solution that hosts more than 60 million meetings a year. Learn more at gotomeeting.com. As you can see, we're going old school Java today. It's just me. There's a reason for that. Sports can be a lot of fun. We all saw that last month in San Jose. Josh and I were out there on the ice. It was a fun thing to cover, fun thing to experience. The Jung Ho Kang story is anything but fun. It's maddening, it's disappointing, it's confusing. It brings out a lot of emotions from us, some of them emotions that we're uncomfortable dealing with. I want to start this, and I'm going to devote this whole episode to this topic. So if you don't like it, feel free to click away right now. But I'm going to start by sharing with you my very strongly held view on who is to blame in this situation. We have no idea. We have no earthly idea. And again, I'm only going to speak for myself here. I would put where I'm standing on this issue dead center, and I wouldn't budge that needle 1 millimeter to the left or to the right on it. Based not on precedent, based not on culture or history or anything else, based solely on the information that is available to us in this moment. It is flimsy. There isn't much there. Sometimes when people hear that, they think, aha, blaming the victim. No, we have no earthly idea. And anyone who claims to have more than that, who is outside of those two parties or the Chicago Police Department, already has their mind made up. I don't. There's a reason we presented this story as we did on the site, right down the middle, and got out of the way. There's a reason I didn't write a column about it. There's a reason I'm telling you right now that I don't have any opinion on this situation at the moment, because we just don't have any information. I don't want to hear about Ben Roethlisberger or Ray Rice, or for that matter, on the other side of the argument, the Duke lacrosse team, or people who have been wronged. This is one person on one side of the issue, another person on the other side of the issue, and we have nothing. Nothing. If you try to start an argument over this, you're going to have nothing at the outset. Jung Ho Kang is starting for the Pirates at third base in St. Louis. He's been starting all along. The Pirates didn't just find out about this incident in the Chicago Tribune. They've known for a while. So in theory, the Pirates and or Major League Baseball can look as if they're, numb or insensitive by putting him out there. Let me spend this portion of this just on this, because it's important to relate the baseball aspect of it. That is kind of what we do here anyway, is to talk about sports. The Pirates couldn't do anything to Jung Ho Kang if they wanted to in a case like this. The Major League Baseball Players Association, which you've heard is pretty powerful and does everything to defend its rights within the collective bargaining agreement. Never mind sticking up for the player, right or wrong. I'm just talking about the actual document. And the CBA makes it very clear that these things have to be done a certain way. The Pirates couldn't just arbitrarily get rid of him based on what evidence is there at hand, what's been presented to this point. Now, there recently was a case where MLB did punish Jose Reyes of the Mets for an incident in which they felt that they had plenty enough evidence, with or without things going through the police or court proceeding. That's different. That's where you have a category, say, where something is caught on video. I mentioned Ray Rice earlier. Well, this is a situation where it actually would apply a precedent. because you would have, at least as the rules are concerned, something that you can see or hear that would be really damning evidence that could potentially damage the Pirates brand, that could damage Major League Baseball, that sort of thing. Right now, and I hate to keep being repetitive about this, right now, that either doesn't exist or we aren't aware of it. I'm going to have to presume that neither the Pirates nor Major League Baseball at this moment have enough evidence, have enough of a backstory or backlog to believe that there could be something potentially really explosive here. That's not to say that there isn't. That's not to say that it won't come out. I'm saying that at this point in time, they might not have that information. The one area that maybe you could reasonably debate and discuss, if this is a topic of interest to you, is judgment. You can debate Jung Ho's judgment in using the app and hooking up with somebody he didn't know in a hotel room on the road during baseball season. You can debate the woman's judgment for, going to see a stranger. To me, those are lifestyle issues. Neither one of them is intrinsically illegal or, for that matter, even necessarily immoral, depending on your own code. I don't see, in this case, judgment on either end as being relative to what ultimately happened that would be of consequence, meaning either Jung Ho did what he is accused of, or the accuser is in some way, shape, or form not innocent in terms of setting the thing up. It's hard to look at this from the standpoint of just, well, so-and-so should have thought better of this. It has nothing to do with what happens at the end. All that's consequential to this case is what actually happened, what the charge could be, if a charge is in fact ultimately filed, and what the evidence is that comes up after that. Again, I can't say this enough. I'm at a total loss here for how anyone could look at what's there right now and come up with any kind of stance. I really am. Finally, I want to talk to you a little bit about us and how we presented this. Those of you who read our article that was put together with combined reporting of Matt Geithgar, beat writer, and Jason Mackey, who's out with the Pirates currently in St. Louis, can attest that this thing was exactly what I've been talking about in this whole segment, right down the middle. You also didn't see an opinion piece by me. You're now hearing the reason for that. I don't have one. And the response that we got in the comments section, some of it on Twitter and whatever, seemed to generate way more buzz than the actual article. I'm going to share with you a couple of, these are more of the way out there responses that I got. Not all of them were visible in public. One subscriber emailed to say that he was canceling his subscription based on the fact that he felt we ran the article, not making this up, that we ran the article in order to generate a comment buzz. Now, never mind that I've said a million times over that comments and comment traffic does nothing for us as an actual business. It just doesn't. We don't get, bonus pay for it or anything like that. It doesn't count toward extra hits or anything like that. So I can't even begin to piece together the logic on that one. We had others that basically said that, and I still can't believe this because this was so common, that we should have shut down comments on the article. Think about this for a second, that we should have just shut them down, should have had no conversation on it. So my first inclination was to respond and say, oh, how dare you, blah, 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 say something like that, our readers have every right to. And then I thought to myself, hang on a second. What did I read here along the way that was so deeply offensive that it needed to be wiped off the face of the earth? And funny, I never got really any responses from anyone to this. What was the one comment that set you off? What was the one where you said, this is a bridge too far? What was it? So I don't even think it was that. I think that this is just a topic that is so sensitive. People get so touchy, and if you'll pardon this adjective, squeamish over certain subjects in this world, and maybe they come to our website as some sort of sanctuary from that, or, you know, it's just sports and it's fun and games, and let's talk about, you know, who Jim Rutherford's going to get to fill out the defense the rest of the next season. But there's more to it than that, and every once in a while, sports and real hard news, for better or worse, will overlap. We're going to write about it, and you're going to talk about it. And if you don't want to talk about it, or if you don't want to read it, that's why we have that thing down there at the bottom of the article that says load comments. You don't have to hit that button. You really don't. If you do, and you go in there, the only thing that we ever ask is to keep it clean. But you're free to express whatever viewpoints you want. However, I will repeat that I can't begin to fathom having a hard stance of any kind in either direction based on what we know right now.